In this video, we'll present you Adspert, which is a platform for advertisers advertising their products on Amazon and other platforms. And in this video, we will be focusing mostly about Adspert's solution for Amazon sellers. However, you can use their app, their software for running and organizing and optimizing your advertising campaigns in other platforms like Google Shopping, Google Advertising, and others. So this video is part of the Demo Mondays video series where we invite different Amazon software creators. And today, as I said, our guest is Adspert. Hello, Neza. It's nice to have you here. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us what is Adspert and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, Augustas. Lovely to see you again. Lovely to chat. So Adspert is a SaaS startup located in Berlin. And what we do is we focus on bid management of Amazon advertising. So we take existing campaigns and we find that sweet spot where our vendor or seller clients can find the biggest bang for their buck, essentially.
And I know you prepared some few slides about your company, so we will get a little bit better idea what is Adspert and what are your values, how do you work, how do you create algorithms, and then we will go into the product demo. So we're ready to learn about Adspert, so you're welcome to share your screen.
Wonderful. Thank you. So Adspert, as mentioned, is a SaaS startup located in Berlin. And at our core, we are a very hardcore analytics company. We focus on innovation. So we work with artificial intelligence to very quickly just find ways to adapt to the ever-changing context that we know exist in online advertising. We are also one of the pioneers of the industry. So the Adspert core was originally developed as a stock trading solution, and then we made it work for online advertising. And currently we're managing massive amounts of data to analyze, process, and update the relevant things on a daily basis. And we are a very international company. So while the headquarters is in Berlin, we have people really from all over the place, bringing the best talent together to find the best solutions possible for our clients. Now, if we go more specifically to what it is that we do, we can start with, for example, what are the issues that we identified that we want to help our sellers and vendors clients with? What are the challenges with Amazon advertising that our clients constantly ask for help with? So one was a lack of overview. So Amazon advertising is continuously evolving, improving, developing new things, and that can be overwhelming for people that are managing things manually. So it's a learning process, and we want to take the difficulty of that learning process away from our clients so that they can focus on always seeing the big picture and think about the next strategy, the next big idea, how to make even more money, how to reach all of their business goals. We are also very heavily focused on profitability. So we do have a number of specific goals in our product, which we will see a bit later. But the point of it all is that we want to find that sweet spot, as mentioned before, that helps our customers get the biggest bang for their buck, and that is profit. Of course, we do optimize as per customers' goals, but at the forefront of everything, we look at the profit that we are generating. And because we understand that Amazon advertising, as well as any sort of other online advertising, can be extremely time consuming, we try to make things super easy for our customers so that working with Adspert is not another to-do on your list, but rather the one thing that kicks off like 5 or 6 other things that you would otherwise have to do. So time management for our customers is a very big thing for us. Now, what is the Adspert way? What it is that we do? We will see all of this in practice in a little bit. But if I summarize this in just a few points, so we do campaign management. We manage the bids for sponsored product, sponsored brand, or sponsored display campaigns. We make it more intuitive than ever. We support all marketplaces that are available via the Amazon Advertising API, and our solution is actually appropriate for sellers and vendors of all sizes and shapes and forms. And we actually can work with any existing campaign structure. So you don't need to kind of reshuffle your entire Amazon advertising account before you start working with Adspert. We can look into it. Sometimes there might be some opportunities for improvement, but overall, you can just plug Adspert in and it should be able to work with your campaign structure. We do keyword harvesting and addition. So of course, we identify the highest performing keywords or product targets, so ASINs or categories, to then add them to existing campaigns, either in manual or auto mode. I will show that in our demo. We also provide suggestions for negative keywords whenever those are applicable. And again, as mentioned before, profit optimization is a big part of our let's say, USP. It's a big part of everything that we do. And we actually have a profit optimization mode where our algorithm will really just disregard any sort of additional metrics and we'll just look for at which point is the profit of your campaigns maximized. Now, here I will just go through it very, very quickly. Adspert does allow you to stay in control of your Amazon advertising. You stop wasting time. You are always one step ahead because there are always new features and enhancements in Adspert. We really keep a very careful eye to what Amazon is doing to make sure that as soon as it's available via the API, we can have it as well. And we offer full transparency of everything that we do. So in our log, you can see exactly what did the system do, what did a user do, at which time. So it's not a black box. We have 10 years of experience. We actually didn't start with Amazon advertising. Of course, it wasn't there 10 years ago. We started with Google Ads, added on Microsoft Ads and Yandex, and most recently Amazon advertising. So this technology, the speed prediction algorithms, all of this, it's in our blood, if you will, for the last 10 years. And now we're just taking all of that experience. We're looking into Amazon advertising, finding everything that is special about it and making it work for the platform. And it allows a risk-free scalability. As mentioned, we can work on any marketplace. It's easy to add and promote more countries or more products as you see fit. It's not industry specific or size specific or anything like that. So we have a number of different goals. We will see this a bit later on our goals page, but I just wanted to briefly mention it, that you can optimize for example, cost per order, cost per month, ROI, ACoS, or profit maximization as mentioned. Each of the goals has a very specific purpose. You can see them on the screen here, and you can try with different goals for different campaigns, see what works best. We have a very, very capable and extremely smart customer success management team that are happy to support you in finding the best solution for that. But we do have these 5 available options. We have in the past helped several customers reach their goals, so we can find always solutions that work for our customers' business goals, because ultimately that's what matters. We need to find solutions that work for our sellers or our vendors' business goals, and just optimize towards those on a daily basis. And these are a few of our success stories. More you can find on our website. And a little bit of magic. So this is the magic that happens in the background. You can see here what the machine room, the machine learning algorithm, the artificial intelligence, you can see how all of that looks like. It's very high math, but it's quite magical to see it in practice. So you can see a few of curves here. You can see different examples here of what is happening with keywords, et cetera, et cetera. So it's quite exciting to see.
All right, thank you very much. It's a nice introduction to Adspert. Let's now jump to the actual product demo so we can see how does it work, where the buttons have to be pressed to make it automate PPC campaigns on Amazon?
Of course, of course. So here on my screen, you can see the first page, so the home page of our product, which we call the monitor. It's a page that allows you to see the progress of your accounts at a single glance. So it's not meant for any, let's say, user input or action, but really just to give you a first glance of everything that is happening. Now, one thing I would mention is that our monitor, as well as several other pages, they are cross-platform. That means that because we optimize not only Amazon, but also Google or Yandex or Microsoft, you can see all of your advertising accounts together on a single page. So in this case, because we are working with our demo account for the purposes of this demonstration, we see two different accounts. Of course, you can select only your Amazon account. So if you would, for example, have all of your European marketplace that you would be optimizing with us, you could see at a single glance how is it working overall, but you would also be able to filter and just dig deeper into the specific details that interest you more. So we have, as always, our main selectors on top, so you can refine the selection of what it is that you're looking at. You can pick which dates you want to be looking at. And everything below it just updates automatically. So that is, I think, fairly straightforward. We have 5 KPI cards at the beginning. So we have identified in collaboration with our customers, which are the 5 KPIs that are, let's say, most important for them when they start reviewing the performance of their campaign. So before they go into a deep dive into the analytics and find that one keyword or one ASIN that is messing everything up or making everything go so much better, what are the top level numbers that they want to see? So these are the ones that we have identified: how many conversions per day, what the click-through rate is, cost per conversion, what the ACoS is. Now here we call it CRR-ACoS. That's because, again, we optimize for Google as well, and on other platforms the same metric, it's called cost revenue ratio, and we have the revenue per day. Under that, we have just a basic chart where you can select the metrics that you want to see. You can have 3 of them at the same time. And at the bottom, you can see top accounts, which are ordered by a specific metric. Again, you can select which metric you want to see. And the working stats is actually where we show what Adspert is doing. So Adspert placed for this demo account 1,560 bids, added 29 new criteria, and so on and so forth. At the very bottom, we will always see the conversion delay toggle. So we know that it's not always that the customer converts on the first visit, right? It can take, Amazon has the 14-day attribution window, other platforms have other rules, and so on and so forth. We forecast the conversion delay so that you can see what you can expect out of your campaigns, even if those actions haven't quite happened. So we do that based on processing, like I was mentioning before, those, I think they were 12 terabytes of data on a daily basis, just to make sure that our forecasts are as accurate as possible. And you can anticipate within, of course, reason. It's not an absolute science. So because things can happen in online advertising from one day to the other, so can our forecast sometimes be slightly inaccurate. We can forecast exactly what is happening with the conversion delay. So if you toggle it off, you see the same values that you would in the platform. If you toggle it on, we account for the conversion value that we are forecasting. So that is the monitor. Now I would like to show you another page, and I need to preempt that with a small disclaimer. So we are right now in a very active process of revamping our entire product. So part of our product is looking like this, like our monitor, and another part of our product is looking very differently. So we're going to look at one of those pages now, which is goals and promotions. And this is how our let's say, old product looks like. This is what we are actively working on deprecating at the moment. So this is the page where we get to create performance group and set up goals for those performance groups. Now, performance groups are essentially just groups of campaigns. They are only that in a specific, you can see them down here. We have for our demo accounts already created ones. We group campaigns that make logical sense to group together into what we at Adspert call performance groups, and that the goal is assigned to that performance group or we also offer the option of having single campaign goals here at the very bottom. This way, you don't have to be fragmenting everything, because you might have the same business objective for a number of different goals. For example, here we have one performance group that is called Shirts Women, and we put in what is the auto campaign and the corresponding manual campaign, because we're optimizing them together. They have the same ACoS goal, so it just makes sense to group them. And you can group them as you see fit. There are really no limitations to that. And then to set the goal, here we already have all of them set, but it's very simple. You can just select the one that works best for your business goals. So again, we have cost per month, we have cost per conversion or cost per order, we have ROI, we have ACoS, and we have autopilot. Now, autopilot is very specifically profit maximization. So it's not an option that just randomly switches between goals or anything like that. It is very specifically profit optimization. So we would need to receive profits for your specific products to be able to consider them in our optimization. And I realized I just said profits. What I meant to say were costs. So COGS, tax, things like that. We would need to identify that for each product. And then we would be able to do profit maximization for you. So here, let's just select the cost per month goal. We can put in whatever value we see fit. Now, our recommendation is to always try and stay as true to the historic value as possible, especially at the beginning. So let's just put it at 1,500, save the goal, and that's it. So this is where, let's say, we give our algorithm the context that it needs so that it knows how to optimize or what to optimize towards, so that it understands what it is that you are expecting of it. And you can really have a number of different performance groups. The condition is that one campaign can be in one performance group at a time. So you can have one campaign in two performance groups. But once you have everything structured, you can then pick and choose the goals that work best for you. And we will optimize those campaigns automatically with our algorithm. So that is pretty much it in terms of goals and promotions. Now, what happens, for example, you connect your first account and you're not quite sure what is the best goal for you. We have a very, very cool tool, which is called Scenarios, where you can see the prediction, approximate prediction of what will happen if you select one goal or another. This page, again, is one of the old ones, but we're actively working on revamping it. So shortly it will look much sleeker and much more in tune with the monitor that I showed you before. So for example, if you're interested in seeing what is the best cost per month goal for your, let's say, ACoS, you could then scroll over or hover over the scenario curve and say, okay, so my scenario is telling me that if I want an ACoS of 10%, I should be spending nearly 500 euros. Okay, what if I want a lower ACoS? Okay, the cost goes down. Great. But what if my, let's say, acceptable ACoS is actually higher? And I want to have a 14.28% ACoS. You can see what the cost is down here then. And you can play around with this with a number of different metrics. So on the x-axis, we always place all of our goals, with the exception of profit maximization or autopilot, because that is the only goal that does not have a value. You cannot set, I want a profit of, I don't know, 1,000. You just place it to profit maximization and the algorithm calculates which is the point of the highest profit. So that's why it is not on the x-axis. But on the x-axis, otherwise you have all of the other applicable goals. And on the y-axis, you have all of the other, all of the possible metrics. So here you can check for revenue, you can check for clicks, you can do a number of different combinations to really find that sweet spot that works for you and your business goals. Now this, again, as I mentioned before, and there's a disclaimer down here that mentions that these are estimations that are based on your historic data. So there are factors that are beyond our control, such as changes in competition, or for example, Black Friday is next week, or something like that, something that changes consumer behavior in a very impactful way. You need to proceed with a bit of caution with these scenarios, because they're concepts that you might be aware of that our algorithm isn't. Or for example, if you just duplicated your budget, or if you cut your budget in half today or 5 minutes before playing around with your scenarios, that's not yet in the historic values. So it's useful. It's very fun to play around with. It provides a lot of context, but it also requires a bit of common sense to be applied alongside reading it, or alongside the numbers that are presented here. And so that is scenarios. It's one of our, let's say, most popular pages, but there is one that is even more popular, and that is our product page. And that is the page where we actually see our users just like their eyes shine. It's like that heart eyes emojis, more or less, because what we show here is a different twist on the data. So usually what you see on any sort of online marketing platform or online advertising platform is the same structure. So you see your campaign, then within those campaigns, you see your ad groups, and within your ad groups, you see your criteria, right? So sometimes it's very complicated to understand how is your product actually doing, because you're selling your same product in a number of different ad groups or in a number of different campaigns. So what we did is we sliced and diced the data, a number of different reports, and we turned it around. So now you can see how your products are performing, considering all of the data that we're pulling from your Amazon account. So for example, you can see that Men Jeans Slim Fit has the price of €34.79. We spent €170 on this, on the promotion of this product, and so on and so forth. So you can see it on product level. But what's even better, you can actually see which specific keywords or product targeting are converting for this product. You can export all of that. And if you click on performance by campaigns, you can see, again, like the reversed view of this, which are the campaigns that are selling your products and at which rate. So we can see, for example, that the manual campaign is costing us more, but it is also generating double the revenue, and so on and so forth. So you can really approach your data from a different perspective, because one thing we've learned when talking to our customers is that the thing that they care about the most is profitability. It's how the products are selling. And sometimes in Amazon advertising, it's not that easy to get that information. You need to worry about your advertising account structure if you want to really get that product level data, and you need to be very strategic about how you put everything. Here, we just do it for you. So as long as you have an Amazon advertising account connected, we will be able to do this. And if you also grant us access to your MWS, we are able to pull pictures so that we can actually see, you can see your product, you can see the title of your product. We, of course, provide identifiers. We show that if the product is being actively sold. We even have a not in buy box states here. So if you wanted to see all of the products that are currently not in buy box, for the demo account, we are just assuming that everything is working perfectly, so we don't have one, but you would be able to see that. You would be able to see things that are out of stock, that are inactive. All of that we show on this page, and again, it is a different spin to how the information is usually presented, which is the account, campaign, ad group, and keyword or biddable object level.
And Neza, I have a question. So you have a column revenue. So it's very clear that your revenue information you take from Amazon directly, right? And how does it work for those who are using it for Google, like Google advertising? What kind of revenue are you showing there?
So for Google advertising, this page actually works only for Google Shopping. So if we have Google Shopping campaigns, there's a product there, there's a product feed, so we can extract that same information. For general search campaigns, this page is not available. There we just approach it the same way as we would with everything else, which is the account, campaign, ad group, and then biddable object approach. So this is something that works specifically when there are products in place and where the campaigns that are promoting those products are set up for e-commerce. So that's for right now, it's Google Shopping, it's Amazon advertising, and we're looking into possibly introducing Microsoft Shopping as well. Microsoft Ads shopping campaigns as well, to have this same approach there as well. Yes, but if there are any sellers that are doing cross-channel selling, so they're selling via Google as well as via Amazon advertising, and the Google campaigns are shopping campaigns, that they would be available here. I don't have a Google Shopping account to show you, because it does look slightly different, because we don't have the images and we don't have the titles, and for example the status is much more limited, but we can still slice and dice the information so that we can aggregate the data on product level. Maybe one last thing that we can show you is the standard, let's say, approach to data, which is our key figures page. This is one that we're very excited about, that we launched last week. So this is where you would see, let's say, the origin of the products page, where you see things from an account, campaign, ad group, and then biddable object perspective. Biddable object at Adspert is called criteria. So that is for us, be it a keyword, an ASIN, a category, anything we can submit a bid for. We just put it on all under one word, and that for us is criteria. That's why you see it here. So here, if I remove the filter, you will see what I meant with the cross-platform approach. So you can see both of your accounts together, or if you had more, you would see more. You see the account-specific details in one row, and then on top you see the aggregation numbers. And then we slice it and dice it in many different ways. So you can see that same analysis by performance groups, which we talked about before, are just groups of campaigns. You can see which goal you set up for that performance group so that you have the context of what it is that you're looking at. You can then see it on campaign level, where we provide even what kind of a campaign type it is. Maybe it's easier here if I perhaps limit it again just to the Amazon account. So here we can see that we have sponsored products. We are mainly just advertising sponsored products here, but you would always be able to see the campaign type. We can see the platform status. We see all of the relevant metrics. And at the very end, we have two metrics, which are ROI and profit. Those are usually not populated because we need those costs. So we would not do the assumption of knowing what the profit is without our customers being able to submit those COGS and tax and all that fun stuff to us, so we can then calculate it. So that is contingent on the customer submitting that information, and then we populate those metrics as well. And once we make it to the campaign level, we can then drill down to ad groups. So you can see really the information as granular as you want it, and you can even go down to the criteria level. You can see exactly which keywords are having which performance. If there's any product targeting, you would see it in here as well. And yeah, and this works for any kind of campaign. So regardless of if it's sponsored product, sponsored brand, sponsored display, you would be able to see it sliced and diced here so that you can really dig deep and find what it is that you're looking for. If there's anything that needs tweaking, if there's anything that needs fixing, you would be able to find it here. Now, this, of course, it's our version 1. So in the future, we will make it even better. But for now, this is, I think, the most relevant pages.
Look at your pricing. How does it work, and how different marketplaces are affected in the pricing?
Yes, very happy to. We divide our customers into 3 segments. There are no number of accounts or specific marketplaces that are a condition of it. The one thing that we look at is the monthly ad spend. So under 4,000 monthly ad spend, it's 99 euros per month, and that is across all of your advertising accounts. So we aggregate the monthly ad spend of all of your accounts that you're optimizing with us. If the ad spend falls under 4,000, then it's 99 euros per month. And we have these initial features, which are you can connect as many advertising accounts as you want, goal-based optimization, our budget suggestions, and so on and so forth. We also offer support via the help center and via a ticketing system. Then the next tier is standard. There we remove any sort of monthly ad spend limitation. It is available at $3.99 a month or $3.49 if you agree to a yearly contract. So $3.49 a month if you agree to a yearly contract. It includes all the features already available in Lite, plus manual keyword suggestions, a live chat offering, and you get one onboarding session with a solution specialist. So a much deeper demo that I did today, you get a personalized for yourself, so you get to ask all of the questions. And then we have an enterprise model as well, which is personalized according to the needs of our customers. Again, no monthly ad spend limitation, and we have a number of additional benefits there, such as profit maximization, pricing. That's a very exciting new thing we're working on. You get a designated customer success manager so that they work with you. You get meetings with them, review sessions with them to really make sure that everything is working as good, as smooth as it needs to. And you also get priority whenever you have an issue. So that is our current pricing, and you can find more details on our website, which is adspert.net.
All right, thank you very much, Neza. And could you please reveal us anything you are planning to release in the future for your users?
Of course, I'd be happy to. So I think that the thing that is very, very obvious is that the pages will very shortly look different. I know that's not a new feature, but it's exciting for us nonetheless to be able to revamp our product. So that is definitely one thing that is coming. There are other 2 big things that we are working very heavily on. One of them is a cross-platform goal setting. So our customers will soon be able to create performance groups that have campaigns from different accounts. We understand that might not be suitable for everybody, but those that do want to leverage that will be able to. So they can pick and choose campaigns from different accounts, put them in the same performance group, set a goal to them, and then they will be optimized together across different accounts. So that is what we call a cross-platform goal. that will be available shortly. And another very exciting feature that we're working on, which is actually in beta already and has had amazing results, is pricing. So we are working on repricing the products, but not just as a standalone repricer. It is part of our optimization. So we look at that same sweet spot where you would get the highest profits for your product. We look at them from two different perspectives now. One would be changing the bid, and the other one would be to change the price. So we added an additional variable to our optimization, the price, and we are actively modifying the prices to continue generating the best possible results for our customers. That is right now a managed beta, but it will soon be available for our users, depending, of course, on the pricing models that we've seen before, for their individual use as well.
All right. And while I was listening to your Adspert product demo, I was thinking like a lot of Amazon sellers, of course, they're using Amazon advertising platform, but with your tool, there is a possibility kind of to have everything in one place if you're advertising on other platforms, advertising platforms like Google Ads or Google Shopping. So what do you see? Do you see like a lot of your Amazon private label clients considering these other platforms, and what results are they getting?
We do have clients that leverage both. So they either started on Amazon and then tried Google as well, or vice versa. And they are getting good, encouraging results, I must say. Of course, the benefit of doing that in our product is that you can see everything together. So you can see how your campaigns are working. So you can compare let's say if you have a Google account that is selling the same products that you're selling on Amazon, you can compare that on that key figures that I showed you. You can see exactly how the metrics are, the conversions, and so on and so forth. So there is definitely opportunity in there. And I mean, Google was there before Amazon advertising tried to take out its piece of the online advertising pie. So it is where we started. We still support it. We continue building on it. So for all sellers that are interested, it's definitely a good place where they can see like a good overview of everything. And we continue with our very heavy focus on e-commerce. So we are considering adding additional platforms to really offer a very, very good e-commerce overview of the product's performance on different advertising platforms.
Sounds good. So if people are interested to test or use your service, you'll find the link below. It's adspert.net, correct?
Yes, it's adspert.net, and we offer a 30-day free trial, no credit card required. You just go through the flow, connect your first account, start optimization, and see the magic happen.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Neza, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Augustas, for having me. Bye.
I do hope that this video was useful for you and you learned a little bit what is Adspert and how do they work and what kind of solution they are providing for Amazon sellers. And if you want to try them for 30 days, you will find the link below in the description. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video which we did with Adspert company, also with Neza, which you saw in this video, and her colleague, where they answer quite frequently asked questions about advertising on Amazon.